The Mahabharat, Adiparva, Section 1. Om having bowed down to Narayana Nar, the most exalted male being, and also to the goddess Saraswati, must the word Jaya be uttered. Ugrashava, the son of Lomharshana, surnamed Sut, well versed in the Purans, bending with humility, one day approached the great sages of rigid vows, sitting at their ease, who had attended the 12 years sacrifice of Sonak, surnamed Kulapati, in the forest of Nemisha. Those ascetics, wishing to hear his wonderful narrations, presently began to address him, who had thus arrived at that recluse abode of the inhabitants of the forest of Nemisha. Having been entertained with due respect by those holy men, he saluted those sages with joint palms, even all of them, and inquired about the progress of their asceticism. Then all the ascetics being again seated, the son of Lomharshana humbly occupied the seat that was assigned to him. Seeing that he was comfortably seated and recovered from fatigue, one of the sages, beginning the conversation, asked him, "Whence comest thou, O lotus-eyed Sut? And where hast thou spent the time? Tell me, who asked thee in the detail?" Accomplished in the speech, Sut, thus questioned, gave in the midst of that big assemblage of contemplative sages a full and proper answer in words consonant with their mode of life. Sut said, having heard the diverse sacred and wonderful stories which were composed in his Mahabharat by Krishna Dvaipayan, and which were recited in full by Vaishampayan at the snake sacrifice of the high-souled royal sage Janmejay, and in the presence also of that chief of prince, the son of Parikshit, and having wandered about visiting many sacred waters and holy shrines, I journeyed to the country venerated by the twice-born and called Samanta Panchaka, where formerly was fought the battle between the children of Kuru and Pandu, and all the chiefs of the land ranged on either side. Thence, anxious to see you, I am come into your presence, ye reverend sages, all of whom are to me as Brahma, ye greatly blessed, who shine in this place of sacrifice with the splendor of the solar fire, ye who have concluded the silent meditations and have fed the holy fire, and yet who are sitting without care. What, O ye twice born, shall I repeat? Shall I recount the sacred story collected in the Purans, containing precept of religious duty and of worldly profit, or the acts of illustrious saint and sovereign of mankind? The Rishi replied, the Puran, first promulgated by the great Rishi Dvaipayan, and which after having been heard both by the gods and the Brahmarshis, was highly esteemed, being the most eminent narrative that exists, diversified both in the diction and division, possessing subtle meaning logically combined and gleaned from the Vedas, is a sacred work composed in the elegant language. It includeth the subject of other books. It is elucidated by the Shastras and comprehendeth the sense of the four Vedas. We are desirous of hearing that history also called Bharata, the holy composition of the wonderful Vyas, which dispelleth the fear of evil. Just as it was cheerfully recited by the Rishi Vaishampayan under the direction of Dvaipayan himself. At the snake sacrifice of Raja Janmenjay, Sut then said, having bowed down to primordial being Ishan, to whom multitudes make offerings, and who is adored by the multitude, who is true incorruptible one, Brahma, the perceptible, imperceptible, eternal, who is both non-existing and existing, non-existing being, who is the universe and also distinct from existing and non-existing universe, who is the creator of high and low, the ancient, exalted, inexhaustible one, who is Vishnu, beneficent and beneficence itself, worthy of all preferences, pure and immaculate, who is Hari, the ruler of faculties, the guide of all things movable and immovable. I will declare the sacred thoughts of the illustrious sages Vyas, of marvelous deeds and worshipped here by all. Some bards have already published this history, some are now teaching it, and others, in like manner, will hereafter promulgate it upon the earth. It is great source of knowledge, established throughout the region of the world. It is possessed by the twice born, both in detail and compendious form. It is the delight of the learned from being embellished with elegant expressions, conversations, human and divine, and a variety of political measures. In the world when it was destitute of brightness and light, and enveloped all around in total darkness, there came into being as the primal cause of creation, the mighty egg, the one inexhaustible seed of all created being. It is called Mahadivya and was formed at the beginning of the Yuga, in which we are told was the true light Brahma, the eternal one, the wonderful and inconceivable being present alike in all places, the invisible and subtle cause, whose nature partaketh of entity and non-entity. From this egg come out the Lord Pitamaha, Brahma, the one only Prajapati, with Sadguru and Sthanu. Then appeared the 21 Prajapatis, with Manu, Vasishtha and Parmesti, 10 Prachetas, Daksha and 7 sons of Daksha. Then appeared the man of inconceivable nature, whom all the rishis know, and so the Viswadevas, the Adityas, the Visas, and the twin Aswins, the Yakshas, the Sadhyas, the Pichasas, the Guhyakas, and the Pitrus. After these were produced the wise and most holy Brahmarshis, and the numerous Rajarshis distinguished by every noble qualities. So, the water, the heavens, the earth, the air, the sky, the points of heavens, the years, the seasons, the months, the fortnights called pakshas, with day and night in due succession, and thus were produced all things which are known to mankind. And what is seen in the universe, whether animated or inanimated, of created things, will at the end of the world and the after expiration of the yuga be again confounded, and at the commencement of the other yugas all things will be renovated, and like the various fruits of the earth succeed each other in the due order of their seasons, thus continueth perpetually to resolve in the world, without beginning and without end. This will which causeth the destruction of all things. The generation of Devas, in brief, was 33,333. The sons of Dev were Brihadbhanu, Chaksusa, Atma, Vibhavasu, Shavita, Richika, Arka, Bhanu, Asvaha, and Ravi. Of these, Viswaswas of old, Mahya was the youngest, whose son was Devavrat. The latter had for his son Suvrat, who we learn had three sons, Dasjyoti, Satajyoti, and Sahasrajyoti, each of them producing numerous offspring. The illustrious Dasjyoti had 10,000, Satajyoti 10 times that numbers, and Sahasrajyoti 10 times the number of Satajyoti's offspring. From these are descended the family of the Kurus, of the Yadus, and of Bharata, the family of Yayati and of Ishvaku, also of all the Rajarsis. Numerous also were the generations produced, and very abundant were the creature and their places of above. The mystery which is threefold, the Vedas, Yoga, and Vijnana Dharma, Artha, and Kama also. Various books upon the subject of Dharma, Artha, and Kama also. Rules for the